In this mini-series, I will guide you through a full process of professional game design and what it takes to be a professional game designer. I'm Isik Isin, your game director of trust, and I say your game. Watch this video and make a better one. Let's start with, what is a game? Alright, let's avoid romantic. What is a game in business? That's easy, it's a product. And the components of the foundation is what we will talk about. Sure, we'll talk about game design more detailed, but we'll keep the other components constantly in mind. Writing the game design documentation is just one part of the job. We also need to know who is using it for what and to make sure that everyone understands it. Here we go. Art. This is drawing, illustrating, 3D modeling, animating, and some more. For game characters, environment, objects, user interface like buttons or live bars. But also, the decision and documenting of art style are genre and color panels in a style sheet. That's the job of an artist. And there is a broad palette of disciplines. Development. This is programming, front and back end. The developers make sure to remember user data like login credentials, character level, what is in the inventory of the player. They place the art assets, user interface elements, and adding and arranging animations and sounds in game engines, if there is one. This triangle also contains QA for game testing and making sure if the technology, art and game design fits well together. Game design. We are making the rules. How high can a player jump? What items can he carry? How many and what are they good for? What items exist in the game? We also make the numbers. How expensive is an item or where does it drop? How much damage is the player doing? How many health points does an opponent have? And we need to take care of the time of the users. It is our responsibility to make it entertaining and to never waste their time. And on top, we want to motivate them to spend money sometimes before they play, sometimes during their sessions, sometimes both. This triangle also contains text. Writers or narrative designers are making sure that the game story is binding and we use the right form of storytelling. Also sound is in this one. With sound producers and engineers that make sure that we set the best tone to trigger the right emotions and get attention for dangerous or romantic situations, or to get feedback for actions like controlling the gas pedal or receiving penalties or rewards. These three are shaping product. We want to earn money. The best way to achieve it is to create a good game with a big fan base, so it's played by a lot of players. But nowadays that isn't really easy. There are so crazy amounts of games out there. So someone needs to make sure that the game fits to the product strategy. Who is our audience? Country, age, their trending topics. And if we know this, we know how to get attention from these people with the right marketing. But this is one thing that product managers or product owners are doing. They also make sure that the costs for making the game, yes, you want to get paid, is fitting to the expected revenue. That means money we earn. This component includes project. Producers and project managers will make sure to set right production milestones for the team and project and support the team to keep the deadlines. The heart of the game also contains analysis. Data analysts will back the product vision in the early phases, and they are the ones telling you if your live game does have issues. With this data, the team can work on the right new features. And this is the Triforce. Alright. Here you can see the elementary roles and disciplines for making a game. But how to make a game? Okay, now you know everything to understand the production. These are the typical phases. Pre-production. This is where game design, documentation, art asset creation, text and translations are starting. Production is all about development and QA and to make sure that all disciplines are aligned. So there is a lot of exchange and redesigning for game design and art. Since the creative parts are usually more flexible, We make sure to agree with the technical givens. In this phase, prototypes and playable builds are shared and discussed with the team. There is a lot of iterating, usually. Launch. This phase is about getting the final build live on the right platform and a lot about marketing, like finding the right game name, preparing the right campaigns for social media, the platform, depending on stores, also optimizing store text, screenshots or videos. Live ops. You could see this phase as redoing the previous phases in a smaller scope. The team will be analyzing the game, fixing bugs, adding new content and events, implementing special offers that players can purchase. In most of the cases, games only grow with live operations. Yes, talking about growth. How to earn money with the game. There are different business models for studios and many pieces that fit to the same puzzle. Let's differentiate between developing a game and publishing a game. Developing is creating the game, and publishing is pushing it to the market. There are work for hire or game service studios. Those studios are creating games or co-creating parts of the game for another company. This could be art only or backend for multiplayer components or anything else. They usually charge in man hours or fixed prices depending on scope and timeline. Sure, they pay their employees less than they charge other companies for. Then there are game publishers, specialized in creating the right marketing and bringing the game to the stores. Publishers usually carry the market costs and the part of the production costs, but they take a part of the revenue of the game. And there are the studios that are doing the full development and publishing in-house. That's the example I'll dive into. There are two main models for games. The biggest is free to play. Every player can download and play your game for free. Usually, there are paywalls that players will reach. This could be a very strong opponent that players can't beat or obstacles or other players that are too challenging. So the game offers the easy solution to buy the amazing Fire Sword of Doom. Some games with strong social components will offer you to look better than other players with special outfits or pets or avatars. And very typical is that you need to buy a special in-game currency that you can spend on these things. These are in-game purchases. Common for mobile is also to get the cool items by watching an advertisement. Those are rewarded ads. It's also possible that an ad pops up during your session. These are interstitials. The key to big success is a solid retention. Players that keep coming. That's very important because it is likely that players that keep playing will make purchases or watch more ads. And you already paid for those players via marketing campaigns, so you want to keep them. Now you need to convert players into payers. For this, you offer some very attractive packages like starter packages. These payers usually have a higher retention since they are more engaged after investing. There is a very high chance that players that purchasing once will purchase again. The cost you paid for a player, including previous and running production costs and marketing costs, need to be lower than what you earn with a player via purchase or watched ads. This is how you make profit. Free-to-play games need their time to be profitable. Don't expect an easy return of investment. The original way of selling a game is pay-to-play. Players can go to a store and purchase a box, or nowadays more likely they download the game from the stores after paying for it. This model requires big marketing campaigns too, but less players since the initial purchase is higher. There are different ways to sell a pay-to-play. A very common one is pre-order. Players can buy the game and save some special benefits before it's playable. Most games also offer a deluxe version that is more expensive but contains exclusive contents like art books, soundtracks or game items. Or players can play the demo with a hard cut to decide if they want to purchase the full game to continue. Pay-to-play requires a very high game quality since most of the online stores are offering refunding during a certain time if the player is not satisfied with the game. If the game is a while on the market, there are often DLCs offered. Players can buy to discover new content. Many pay-to-play games are using a hybrid model where players also can purchase special content in-game, like in a free-to-play game. Pay-to-play games are reaching a faster return of invest, but the production and marketing costs are significantly higher than most of the free-to-play games. The hidden number 3 are play-to-earn. This is the youngest business model. The idea is that players are getting rewarded with real money assets like cryptocurrency or NFTs for the time they spend in the game or for upfront investments or both. Some games are just linked to a wallet to support NFTs and cryptocurrency, and some games are actually running on a blockchain and offering a real economy. Usually, some elementary actions will cost the player coins. These coins are split into multiple pots, some for user rewards, some for paying the marketing and development studios. Crypto games are still growing. I do believe this will change the world, but like in every booming new business, this will attract a lot of low quality productions for fast money first. Yeah. There are advantages and disadvantages for every model, and there are no rules for studios to mix. Abstract negotiation or deals. We have to think outside the box to make profit. Sometimes you have to buy the tree to own cherries. Sometimes you have to buy cherries to own a tree. On the right side, I will explain what a professional game designer is. And on the left side, you can join the full game design workshop when it's ready.